Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Foundation, where our wonderful little, actually I should say our huge monastery is finally complete. There's absolutely no possible way that anyone could sneak into our monastery at all, so it's great that we have our front gate here to ensure that all things go swimmingly. Good to see you all back. Thank you everybody for clicking and tapping that join button, becoming subscribers, and clicking that like button as well to let me know you'd like to see more of this game. We are coming up on the end now. I'm running I'm all negative money and everything as we had a few big O storms come in too. Oh, there we go. Money's starting to return. It should dwindle a little bit as I'm buying some resources to keep our people happy, but things are going quite well, I'd say. It looks absolutely beautiful. And between our last episode, I made quite a few improvements because I was just basically sitting around waiting for the monastery to get complete, which took many hours. And so I made some other additions and changes to things. And I have a few questions for you. So, number one, we have 173 people in the city. And as we look at our village information window, and when we look at immigration, we see that happiness is average, and it's increasing because the storm is kind of over. Employment is high, and residential space is low, which means that we need to expand our lands a little bit. Well, I had the entire map pretty much filled up with residential zones, and they built houses as much as possible, but unfortunately, it seems like the only area that they expanded to was just here, and I couldn't get them to go anywhere else. So I covered the whole map, and now I've removed it. But it looks like more homes have come in, but yet we're still lacking residential space. So, again? All right, we'll get ready for more sadness and trouble. Every time we get our economy back on track and things are going okay again and happiness is skyrocketing towards 100, it seems like there's a problem yet again where a storm comes in. Well, anyway, I tried to expand out here too. I've built a huge area where the desirability is going on. And, well, whatever. I don't know. I just have some questions as why, who, what, where, when, and why, really. Let's take a look here at, not this, but yeah, there we are, desirability. And things are really desirable over here, too. I built some statues to try to scam everyone to move over here, but nobody wanted to move. So I don't know if different, types, like, for example, newcomers, serfs, commoners, and citizens, if they require different homes. But even then, they should be able to do it. So we can't get any more people to move into the city. I will ask Ash, my personal contact over at the developer team, to see why exactly that's happening. So I'll get to the bottom of that, but I'm wondering if you know, or if you have any guesses to why. Regardless of this, we are making tons of wheat, which is immediately being converted into flour, and now we've got 3 bakeries that are producing as much bread as possible, and we also have plenty of trees being cut down by our crews too, and I've reallocated a lot of the labor, got rid of the military and such, and we're about ready to build our final bridge over to this side. I put it on pause for now, but let's go ahead and undo that. And since I can't build any castles or anything without using mods, we'll just try to unlock this island and maybe build a fortress. So if you want to see one final last episode with some mods and some other things to spruce it up, let me know. And in the meantime, I'll figure out with Ash how I can get a bunch of people to move down here. It'd be nice to have farmers move in down here, bump, so that way we could get, a few more population going. I'd like to get up to around 250, so that way I could get all the jobs fully fulfilled. But not all jobs have to be filled up. Like, for example, our charcoal burners and stuff like that. We're just importing weapons, but we don't really need to do that anymore. So, anyway, let's take a look at the monastery. After our last episode, I kind of redesigned it and was able to figure out how to make all the roofs and things all flat, and it looks pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best thing I've ever seen, but it's really nice as to how the vineyard goes down the hill like that, and it's just beautiful. So it's really nice to see that, and yeah, check that out. So they're adding on one more building here. I tried to build it up against the wall. You can see this guy. This guy's walking up here to build this thing. So the monastery just has a quick little add-on being added to it, and it should be done soon. We've also added a tavern as well. I built a tavern, and unfortunately it's finished before I could show it off, but we have tons of beer being sold, and so hopefully that brings in a lot of gold. Wow, that has a 214... Oh, that's one... Wow, look at that. 4 beer sold for 100 gold. Wow, that's going to bring in a ton of cash. All that extra money is going to go towards imports. I was importing a lot of other materials to finish this monastery, but now we can get a few things sorted out. I now can adjust trade to be a little different, and I was basically trying to sell... I'm trying to buy food and sell other resources, so let's see. Yeah, looks like we're pretty much selling all of our resources now that the monastery is essentially done. Nobody's buying beer, unfortunately, so I'll have to start selling wine, and in order to do that, I need to build a cooperage, which basically builds the barrels, and then start exporting that. So we can get cash that way, but having labor that I can't get additional workers allocated to making wine would take people away from food, which I'm trying to improve upon the most. And it looks like they're also lacking religion again, which is hilarious because we just built a gargantuan monastery. Maybe that's it. I don't think the people can actually visit that. I don't know if monasteries have anything to do with your religion. They just build extra things such as the winery, the herb garden, and the apiary for honey. So you can actually export a few more goods. So it does bring in some good money. So that's kind of good too. So it looks like, and apparently we owe people at the church. We're -4 attendance. I don't know how that's even possible. How we could owe attendance at the church. We owe Jeebus $4, I guess. So anyway, people need to figure out how to get to church. Food. Actually, our food situation is pretty good with the amount of berries that we have. And I just hired a bunch more people to work at the market. So that should turn around again. And as for clothing, we have 52 in storage with 20 people needing it. So it looks like we just need to switch that around. Oh, yes. Now that we have a monastery, too, people will start requesting luxury goods. So we need to start adding onto our markets to sell things like wine and herbs and honey, so that way they can buy it. So that's one of the bad things about building the monastery, is that people then start expecting things, and it'll drag happiness right down if they don't immediately start getting those things. Well, I think I did hire a few people to work at the monastery, but now that it's being upgraded again, I don't think it's functioning. But that'll be just fine. So regardless of everything, things look really beautiful here. I was using the Tavern fence too, and that kind of doesn't look that great. But I really kind of like how it looks in certain spots to try to build like our inner town. This was, of course, for our higher level civilians and things like that. And then, of course, our castle over here. So once we finish the bridge, everything will be connected. And I don't think we'll expand our lands anymore. I bought some more up here just to see if I could get people to move in, but it seems like it's a no-go. Even if I cut trees down, you know, there's still blank land here. So, I don't know. A little bit of a mystery, I guess. We'll try to keep happiness somewhere around like 75 if we can. But, of course, with the incoming storm, that's going to dip very soon because food is going to dwindle too. But that's totally fine. Another way to make money as well as the military. But since everybody keeps not wanting to join because I can't get my houses upgraded, that's one of the cases too. Some of these houses are stuck at max capacity 2, but then some of them are max capacity 6. So I don't know what the difference is, nor do I know how to upgrade them because I've authorized density upgrade. I don't know. But regardless, I am more concerned about the monastery looking absolutely beautiful. That turned out really awesome. I'm very proud of how that looks and how the vineyard is actually inside the monastery like that. And should bring in some extra cash, I suppose, once the herb garden is cooking, once the wine is being made. And then, of course, we'll have to start selling that with the cooperage. So that might actually be a good call to fill up the monastery with a lot more monks. Look at all the people coming in and out of town. That's gorgeous. And I did finally successfully get my wood bridge, so I got what I wanted. And there's a few fences here. I didn't go overly crazy with fences or brick walls this time around, or stone walls. It's pretty good. The only area that I really did a lot of walls around is kind of like the monastery and then the road over here, because there was the seaside nearby, so I thought it kind of separated it really nicely. And then I added some walls here for the cows and whatnot, but I didn't want to go too crazy into it since there's a mix of other things. Everything's kind of smushed together, and of course I don't want to buy any more land and not have it used by the people. So, alright, here comes the farm. Oh, grapes are decreased by 50, wheat and berries, and then fish is increased by 20. So we're about to see everybody starve. So happiness will plummet to like 20%, but nobody seems to be leaving, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, yeah, so I tried to use the entire map. I just painted with residential homes and such, and it was just a no-can-do. Nobody wants to move in, I guess. So no matter where I painted, even if it's down here, I just don't think there's any room left for anybody. So I'm just trying to get everyone to move up here if they can. What I was hoping is that somebody would build a farmhouse and it would be immediately upgraded to a house, but maybe it has something to do with their jobs. I didn't see all the patch notes yet, but regardless, the city is beautiful. It looks really cool during a rainstorm. Let's check it out from a distance, like right here. Oh, that looks cool. That's really, really beautiful. Let's try going down here in the forest. And let's stand right... Oh, that's cool. I gotta figure out if there's a way to get rid of those yellow lines, but... You know what there needs to be in this game? Just like in Anno 1800, wouldn't it be cool if there was a walking mode? Okay, developers, if you're watching right now, I'm sure they are. Maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, anybody watching who can make a change to this, please make a first-person walking mode. It'd be really cool to be able to walk around my own town and take a little tour. That's just turned out really wonderful. Despite all of my issues of me no longer able to get my population can't leave. Nobody gets out alive, and nobody's coming to the town. And then, of course, we've got a severe lack of clothing, except we have 58 actually in the marketplace itself. Like, for example, here you can see that there are people. Are there people assigned to these buildings? Yeah, there are people selling clothes, but apparently we still need more clothes. So they're still going back to pick them up. I can assign more and more people to work at the market, but most of my problems come down to I don't have anybody moving in the town. I don't have enough people here, and they won't build homes. But that's usually been my only gripe about Foundation, is that sometimes, you know, you can lead a citizen to a residential area, but they can't build a house sometimes. So that's totally fine. Let's take a look and see what the monastery's at now. Is it complete? Looks like they're coming up on the end of it. Looks like they just need to deliver some more supplies. Oh, it'll take a little while then. So we probably won't see it fully completed, but I'm just adding a little extension to it. And I guess we can consider that as functioning because there are grapes there. That looks really wonderful. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Let's see what we can do here. I think we can assign... selected function, dorms. Adds functionality, Great Hall. Allows you to promote villagers to higher statuses. Oh, so we could actually get rid of the... Lord's Manor and convert it to a monastery. That's kind of cool. So we can hold 4 more people. I need more people to work here, though. Oh, yeah. At a cost of 11, yeah. Okay. So we can have a lot of people working here, and that means we'll have a huge amount of grape production, which will then be brought over here to the winery, and then, of course, squished, and then turned into basically grape juice, and then fermented in that same facility, and then we can convert it into barrels to sell. And then, of course, we can sell that at our own tavern, or we can export that abroad. Wow, look at that. There are a lot of people serving beer. What are we at for function now? 2 out of 2 bartenders assigned. Look at that. There's lots of beer. Are there a lot of people coming in? I can't see what the attendance is at, but you can see here we built this all custom. Looks really nice. There's stables out back. There's some skylights and stuff for people to look out of. And it just tucked in really nicely just in front of the church. There's a nice buffer there with that house, so it doesn't look like it's too close to the church. And then, of course, it kind of... You have to get in and out this way, so it's kind of pointing the opposite direction. So not too close. So the fact that we were built in like a valley on a coastline next to some mountains is just great. Really turned out nicely. And the monastery, I swear, is like the size of the town. If you take the monastery, right now that's about, let's say that's just a square in the center of the screen. That's about the size of that's about the size of the town, including the church. Pretty amazing. All right, happiness is plummeting still. How come we still have people who are not getting happy here? We have capacity at the church, and we have capacity at the rustic church. So we've actually brought this up to about 93, 30 plus another 63. Not to mention there's another church, which gives us another 65 capacity. So people just aren't going, I guess. So we have more than enough to give all these people a space in the church. It won't work unless it's full, and it's not. All right, what else is there? So they're lacking food. We have more than enough berries, more than enough bread. One of the things that's misleading in this game is you can see what your numbers are at, but you can't, like, for example, the reserve shows you that somebody's transporting it, but it's kind of hard to see graphs of what your production is. It's the same with the citizens, too. You can see who your citizens are, but you can't see how many of them are actually homeless, if they are homeless. Like right now it says we have one person that's lacking a home, which is interesting because they won't build a home. So I don't I don't know exactly how to get them to build another house. Oh, good. Markets here are working. Oh, people are coming all the way down here to buy goods, I guess. We could accept the quest from the envoy, but that doesn't really do much anymore. It just brings in extra points for us to get a bonus, trade bonus. So we can get a trade bonus from the clergy, the kingdom, and the labor department. But it doesn't really matter too much. But we'll try to help the clergy this time. And we'll see if we can deliver those berries. We might come up short. Who knows? We have 2 months, though, to figure that out. All right, well, today's goal, then, is to finish the bridge in the monastery in time. Otherwise, the monastery is essentially complete. They're just adding on to the tower. And I'd like to add some more people here to be monks. And what I'll probably end up doing is, once all this construction is complete, the entire labor force that's dedicated to stone mining will be reallocated elsewhere. So we've got 4 people here in these buildings, plus another 5 per each stone mine, which I think we have 4. So we take all of those workers and redistribute them into the monasteries and all the food buildings, and that should hopefully fully solve the food problem. And then as for the religious problem, I think I'll maybe build one more church somewhere. Maybe we can build a rustic church over, maybe over here somewhere. We'll find a spot to tuck one in and see if we can just get the game to make them go to the nearest church. It might be because it's too far, but in relative walking distance, most people here are close to this church. You can see them going in and out like crazy. And then also this church over here is in relatively close distance to all the homes here too. There's not any houses that are too far away. In fact, the furthest home is probably these 3 right here, or 4. So these people would have to either walk over there or over there. So it's not too far. It's not incredibly far, but we can try to build one. Lots of little problems require lots of little solutions, and of course the game is not complete. So anything that you think we could do to improve upon in order to solve our problems, please do let me know. Good news is the stone bridge is completed, or rather nearing completion, I should say. Once the deliveries are completed, then the construction really only takes a few minutes. So as soon as a couple hundred more stones are delivered, we are good to go. And I really want the update to be able to allow me to build onto this island sometime in the future. I hope there's a fortress update or a bigger military update that allows us to do something more with the castle. It'd be nice if the castle itself was able to maybe do something within the castle walls to do something else. I'm not exactly sure what I'd want, but definitely cool to see. All right, I want to start doing some more exports now because we're getting done on our imports. So let's go ahead and start exporting everything. Looks like we are exporting everything but food is what I want to export now, just so we can get as much money as possible. Barrels I don't want. I definitely want glass to be here. We're trying to import clothes too, as well as making a lot more clothes, so I'll still try to solve that problem. Let me go ahead and see if I can import wheat. Do any of our neighbors... let's see, is anybody selling wheat? I see herbs here. Oh, they're actually selling bread at Davenport. Let me go ahead and import bread. Wheat is going to be a useless thing, but we'll just set it to 50 just in case we need to end up selling that. So let's just try to import everything we need here. We're also trying to import more bread. So let me try to set that to like 150. I'm trying to... That's why our money is so low. I'm just trying to feed everybody. But the money's not really an issue in this game anymore. Now that we've built our town up, we're not going to be building any more buildings. So it's all going to come down to if we can actually support like a closed economy now. So we're not going to be building large monuments or castles or anything like that. It's not going to take any upfront costs. People will still work and still come to the town with zero money. But we'll just try to complete this bridge. Ooh, it looks like it's getting even closer to completed. Very nice. All right, what about the monastery? Oh, and then, of course, we have a few builders, too. So once all the great building is done, we can go ahead and get everyone off building. Let's take a look here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 builders. So we can get those people off building and start putting them into other local jobs. So that might actually fix the problem of not being able to get new people. It's just reallocating the labor to just trying to feed everybody now. So the biggest problems then are like wheat and bread and flour, all that stuff. But it looks like they have a lack of flour over here, which I'm assuming is because of the current weather. I'm assuming the weather is the problem now. Let's take a look at the granary here. Yeah, it looks like they're harvesting now, but the harvest is going to be a lot lighter because of all the current weather. So I can continue to build like farms and stuff. But look at all the farms we built. I should probably build another one here too, huh? See if we can get one more farm built, and then let's actually try to do that right now as a future note. We'll try to add some more people to farming and continue to increase that amount of bread. There we go. We'll tuck a farm in right here. And then I'll try to put some farmland up here and see if we can squeeze in even more farmland. And, of course, we can also do it the same over here, too. But I'd probably want to end up cleaning out the entire area of trees first. So the stone... The export of stone is important, but I think we would probably do better now in providing food to our people and then selling it to the neighbors. In fact, now that I think of it, the best thing we could probably do is end up starting to export swords by having our coal our iron ore, iron, and then sword industry from all those miners. So that will probably resolve the money. So money's taken care of. Happiness is going to continue to go down due to the weather affecting the food, and then maybe building another church is all I can think of. But I'll check with the devs and see what we can do to really make things great. Okay, let's see. We'll also add some more shops, I think, to a few places. Like I mentioned before, 2 villagers are lacking like luxury goods, but it's not going to be that important. Also, if I build... It would be nice in this game to know exactly where those fancy pants citizens are. Like, is this the nicest house in the game, or like where are the richest folks? Like, where do the luxury people want? Because I can't get these homes to upgrade anymore. I added like a monk statue. Let's take a look at desirability here. Yeah, look at how strong that desirability is, and yet they're not upgrading their homes anymore. So I think we're trying to get to very high desirability, but even over here, you can see some territories where they're not building. I don't know. Oh well, just trying to solution things in our own kingdom, and sometimes our kingdom is at the mercy of a game that's not complete. Okay, well, regardless of that, I think everything looks good. I think all the walls just look really nice, except for up here. I'd like to fix these ones that kind of look like fish scales for whatever reason. But it would be nice to be able to not hug the land so that we can make a nice flat top wall. But as you see, I was trying to experiment, and this looks nice, especially for like the richer part of town, which is why we have a fountain there and some other marketplaces within the town itself, so they can go shopping within that area. It's going to take a long time. So ever since our last episode, this is probably like the 7th storm I've been hit by. So happiness, the cycle seems to continue to go where happiness will get very close to almost 95%. Then it'll drop to 85, then a 75, and then a storm will hit. It'll go down to, actually this is quite good to see it at about 60. I've seen it down to like 19 before, and then it'll skyrocket back up after a storm or bad weather is over. Although I wish a storm didn't last like 14 days or something like that. I don't know. Okay, well, we are approaching the end of the... Looks like the monastery is getting the rest of the parts needed. So we're getting close to that. Just a few more polished stone. Looks like the end of this stone bridge is almost here. So that's really nice. So here's what we're going to do. I will see you in a sec as soon as both the monastery and the stone bridge is complete. And then, if you'd like to see more, make sure you smash like, and I'll come back and do one more episode with mods on our private island. So let's see how things go here. Alright, we're getting there. Monastery is almost done. We'll cancel all of our builders in just a moment. The bridge is good to go. I could add some other things to it decoration-wise, but it's just going to take more time and money that I don't really want to invest at the moment, making it look pretty. If you want to see pretty, you look at my Instagram down in the descriptions down there. That's right. Let's go ahead and get this thing wrapped up here, and then what we're going to do is probably, let's see, what do we got for stone? I think we're going to go ahead and let everybody off the jobs for, actually the best way to do this is to find it this way. So if I go through, and I think it's, what is it, stonemason, and then, let's see, stonemason huts and stonecutter camps. Wow, look at all the people we can get back into the workforce by shutting all these down. I think I'll shut down most of them. But what I'll do is I want to keep a few up so that way we can do imports, or exports, rather. So let's see here if we can keep on having those pop up. Oh, there it is. Okay, now in the meantime, we'll wait for the monastery to be complete. There you go. You can see the final guy there working on the last section of the monastery. So there he is down there. I'm going to go ahead and remove most of these jobs. I'm going to try to... There we are. All done now. We're going to concede villagers to become living in the monastery. We're going to get everyone off that job and see if we can get some people to start living up there very soon. And what I'll do then, let's see if we can get all these people cleared out. Yep. So I think only males can work at the monastery, so we'll have to make sure that we've got all of them working. We'll need a total of, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's interesting. Vinter, beekeeper, and then what is this? The herb garden, maybe, I think? So that's what we need there. All right, and then also stonemason huts. We're going to get rid of all but one. So let's get all these people out of here. And now we're just basically changing our economy. So like, you know, most places when you've run out of a resource or whatnot, you got to kind of mix up your job a little bit. Is Edith working at every stonemason hut? She keeps popping up every time. There we go. Let's see, Edith. And male number 597. Excellent. Very common name around these parts. So I can't concede anybody to go work there yet, but I need to work on our dorms and stuff. There we go. Ah, perfect. Now we can assign all those to... There we go. Now we can assign people. Perfect. All right. Now, let's see. So we have Brother Steven. Oh, wow. Look at all these people. Okay, so we need... Actually, wait. Is that a full capacity? 4 out of 4. Oh, we need, looks like 8 more. So we need 1 more building to be a dormitory. So let's see if I can assign one of those buildings to be another dorm. And how many does that give us? 4 out of 14. Wow, okay. So now we can get... We're going to make this maxed out here. Looks like a tier of things have locked. Wonder why that is. Let's see. It's saying a tier of unlockables has been locked. Not there, though. And not here. So it looks like nothing has relocked, even though it just says that it has. Oh, we've gotten... Oh, I see. We need some more citizens, so I can upgrade some more. But really what's been locked now is just trade bonuses, and yeah, that doesn't even matter anymore. Okay, let's keep assigning people. So we have 9, so I need some more people here. So let's go ahead and get our builders off that job. So no more builders now. Is there a way I can make them unemployed again? If I right-click on them... Okay, and I think I accidentally took a brewer off, so let's add that back. So we have 2 breweries over here now. Well, it looks like those are fine. Herb gardens are fine. Okay. Well, we're down to 11 now. Okay, that's going to be pretty close. We're short by 1. So we need one more fella, I guess. Which I think we could probably do by maybe getting rid of a male on one of these jobs. Let's see if we can find somebody who's working at the... We'll just switch it out with a female worker. So let's go with... actually, we could probably do it at the granary. Let's get male number 1519 there. And there we go. Perfect. So now we can just assign... Actually, the transporters don't matter too much in terms of... Oh, good. Money's starting to come back up. All right, happiness is starting to get back up there. So we got a lot of little things to do. A lot of little things in order to get happiness all the way back up. We could build another church again. I don't know if it would even matter if we were to build a church at this point, since we have, like, attendance is at 1. So I don't know why people are actually not even coming over here. Let's take a look at our pathways that are drawn. Forbidden lands shouldn't be preventing people from coming here, otherwise the count would be 0. But I noticed that there's nobody moving in the ground, so let's see if we can fix that up. Although they might just be stopping at this church first, and then when this one is full, then they go to that one. We'll see. So it looks like I fixed this up now. Maybe. But they were able to walk over there before. But the fact that there's no path leads me to believe that perhaps they couldn't reach it. However, I think they go here first. Then when this is full, then they go to the secondary church. So hopefully those numbers go back up. Looks like they're all pouring into the churches, so that's good. As for food, we're now starting to make a lot more wheat. So hopefully that means a lot more flour, which means a lot more bread. And we're also importing a lot of food, too. So the only other thing we need is money. So I think we can go out on some more military campaigns just to get some cash. So let's assign like 5 people to be soldiers there, and we'll go on some easy missions. And then we'll import some more goods again for that. So that's another thing that we can do. Actually, do we have any... Oh, wow. Oh, we have spears. I think those are actually worth better. Strength 5. Oh, yeah. Spear is way better than a sword. Okay. So our previous military campaigns have made our soldiers stronger in terms of better weapons. That I don't even know if we can make those. We might be able to, but we'll go ahead and get them trained up and go on some more conquests. That way we'll possibly bring back more money and such, and then that money can be used to start importing more goods, which we may or may not be short on. All right, very nice. Wow, that monastery. I'm so proud of that. I love that. All right. Well, with the extra free workers that we have, I can now build a cooperage and start exporting wine, and then also consuming that locally at the tavern, too, which will bring in even more cash, and then cash will be brought towards making food. So let's see here. I forget exactly what the line is here for this. So the cooperage needs to make barrels in exchange for planks, iron, and tools. So we'll have to import some iron. And then after that, I think that's it. I don't think we need... once we've built a cooperage for 300 gold, the wine, that should be in storage up here. Or actually, we could build a... I think we could build a granary somewhere to store that. And then the... finished wine can then be brought to the cooperage after the barrels are put together. I think that's how that goes. So basically, grapes are made here, and then grapes are harvested here at the vineyards. Then they're brought there, turned into wine. But then the wine can't be consumed unless we convert it into barrels, I think. Something along those lines in order to store it. I think the vineyard needs, or this needs barrels in order to make the wine. And then the wine is sold directly to the tavern from the monastery. So it's like a kind of an incomplete chain right now. They're just basically, there's probably tons of grapes sitting there, but they can't put them in barrels to store to make it into wine. So that's how it'll work. And then once the barrels are dealt with, they can be brought to the tavern to make wine. It'll like reconvert it back, so that'll be fine. Cool. Well, money will come in with military campaigns. I don't care about money anymore, actually, except for just buying food. So I just want to feed everybody now and keep all of those needs as low as possible. Clothing still seems to be an issue, which is crazy because we've got 61 clothes. And even if I build more of these little huts and such, like, look, we got people working here, and they are set to sell clothing, but nothing has been sold this week, so I don't know. It all depends on how many people have clothing and such. Let's see how many are being sold here. Yeah, it looks like a lot are being sold, so they need to get some more. So I think what we need to do is just continue to, like, edit, go to the goods stall, and then, like, start putting more of these down like this. And then we'll be able to sell some more clothing, especially to the townsfolk, because each, I think, has a limited amount of storage capacity. So don't really care about the envoy too much, unless we immediately have the food source. Let's see here. I don't know what he's going to ask for. I guess I can't have other menus open. So we'll need to get 100 gold in order to build onto our market. But I think that's it for now. Our castle or kingdom is quite good. We now have access to build our castle. I can get some mods then, if you'd like to see. Other than that, there's just a few things to buff out in terms of building a marketplace and trying to have everything loop in. We've got a lot of free hands now, so we can change our market over to exporting wine and beer at the tavern to make money, and then import all the food that we need to basically keep happiness up. That would be the only goal now. And with the storm behind us, happiness should go right back up. You can see all the bread, all the cheese, and all the berries that can be sold back to the people, and happiness seems to be rising again. And the cycle just repeats. Like I said, it goes down to 19, then back up to 95, and there you go. All right, everybody, thank you very much for watching the Foundation series. We will call this one the end for now, unless you want to see more Foundation. So don't go to other videos and asking when are you should play, when is the next episode. Just support this one. Smash like, and with enough support, I'll be back for more mods and more updates soon enough. It's kind of on the devs and everything else. So you all have been fantastic. Thank you very much for clicking and tapping that like button, subscribing, and joining me. And I'll see you all hopefully sometime soon. Goodbye, everyone. This game's a lot of fun. I hope you pick it up. Remember to follow me on Twitter if you'd possibly like to win a free copy. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.